Well, welcome back to Marvel Solar Farm. I'm going to just again do a very quick inspection. Basically Hive 1 is the only one that's being productive and is queen right from the last inspection. Just to recap, the nuke was queenless, so we put some eggs, a frame of eggs and everything in there. They produced one queen cell, which I'm going to leave them alone because it's only a single queen cell, so you don't want to damage it in any way. Hive 2 again kept killing the queen. These were introduced mated queens, so we've given them some eggs and small larvae. Hopefully they're going to produce some queen cells, raise their own queen. Again, it's very late in the year for this, so it's just on the off chance that they manage to do it. I'm not hopeful of any success. So again, we're not going to touch them. We're just going to leave them alone. We don't want to damage any queen cells that they produce or anything. So we're just going to do a quick inspection on Hive 1 and possibly set it up so that we're ready to remove the supers fairly shortly for honey extraction. So anyway, let's get started. Quick look under here, not many bees, so wasn't expecting many. This colony was dwindling down in size, but then again, because it was the only sort of like successful colony, I've been stealing resources out of this left, right and centre for the for Hive 2 and for the nuke. So partly my fault that they've reduced down in size. So let's just have a very quick look again. I can tell from these outer frames they've not been touched. So this is the top frame where they were just doing very minimal work, and we were even contemplating taking that off completely. So let's just see what we got. What we can do, take that out, put that on there. Again, perfectly capped honey. So these are the two supers that we're hopefully going to get ready for extraction later in the week. Absolutely fine. Okay, let's swap these over. It's not so important to keep these in the right order because these are individually spaced. So unlike the brood frames, which are just pure bee space, These can sort of like be mixed and matched, so I've moved that outer one to the centre on hoping that they're trying to finish that off. There was some nectar in there which still needs processing by the bees, but the rest of these is pretty much capped honey. So again, that one still needs work, but they're absolutely fine, so we can probably move those to the centre to get them hopefully finished off. This is a good example of actually, and if you can see this with the bee space, where they've built this out, but on the opposite side they haven't. They've kept it thin, so they've created the space. And again, where they've built this side out on this frame, they've kept it. So even though it's a wavy line, you can actually see that they've maintained the bee space. It's the same on that side to a degree, but that's a good example of while they build out one, they won't build out on the opposite. They will maintain that space. Okay, so we can take that off. And put that up there. There's a couple of these are drone bees which are quite big, and of course they get trapped up top and then can't get down. So, but as you can see, we've not used any smoke or anything, and they're perfectly calm. This is obviously the genetics of the bees, because at the moment it is a real drought, so there's not much in the way of resources, which usually it's when they're nice and busy that they're calm, and it's when they've not got much to do that they can get a bit feisty and okay. Again, we check for the queen. It's unlikely she'll be here, but you just never know. Put that over here. Oh, it's so hot. I've got perspiration dripping into my eyes. So, as I said, it's a drought, so they're down in this brood box, they're using up the honey that they've got. So once I've taken those supers off later in the week, I will be coming down and giving them a good feed. Again, that's capped honey. And there's still plenty of resources down here. And now I can see we're beginning to get into some brood, capped brood. So there's brood and larva. And eggs, you can see eggs. And the bees are cleaning up the cells, and there's some bees hatching. So all looks good so far. Deformed wing. Now that's probably a high Varroa mite level, so there's not many, but I've definitely seen one. So which, you know, it's quite normal. You know, it's as if you see many of them, you probably got a problem. But the thing is, as soon as I take those supers off, we'll be giving them a Varroa treatment. We can't do that while the supers are on because it would contaminate the honey. Yeah, and I can see larvae and eggs. So and then the queen has been here in the last few days. So again, we're back into stores and everything now. So again, we've got stores in there. There's brood, there's eggs, there's larvae. So again, as far as the colony's doing, that's absolutely fine. Haven't seen the queen yet, but this is a double brood box and we've only been through the top box, and you would normally expect it to be further down. So oops, that one truly stuck. Now they're beginning to get a little bit more agitated because of course this is where the queen is and probably the bulk of the brood. This is also where the guard bees will be, down at the entrance. Just stores. More stores. Now ideally you want to go through these as quickly as possible because you don't want to disturb the bees. Right. And there's the queen. Now that yellow dot is obviously blob of paint, and that is basically signifies her age. The yellow dot is for this year, so it's a year that ends in 2. And I'll put up a colour chart on the video so that you know what colour is for what year. Now I can tell from these bottom ones they're quite light, but again they've got stores, so we're not too worried. And once we've got those supers off later in the week, then we'll give them a good feed. Right, now we have a look at these ones, because these are the ones we're going to harvest. I'm not going to take these yet. What I'm going to do, the one that hasn't got, needs a lot more work, I shall keep on the hive for now, just to see if they can finish it off. Which is that one. So well, that's the one that still needs work. And what I'll do, move these back out of the way. These bee escapes, put that on there, so that will let the bees down into the box, and theoretically shouldn't let them back up. So that should be that during the night the bees should go down into the brew box and not be able to return up, so that when we come and take these supers off, they're not full of bees. That's the idea. Now, just so that they're not trapped, good thing about with a WBC hive is in the roof, I'll show you this, it's got a bee escape, so again bees can get through and escape out, but they won't be able to get back in. So I don't know if you can see that, there's a bee escape, so it's one way, so they can get out but can't go back.